On this mountain, the Lord of hosts will provide for all peoples. Let us rejoice and be glad, for the hand of the Lord rests upon this mountain.
We really got to know him well and ultimately to love him because he was just such a great guy. He related to us.
Father Dan was a huge presence in my life. He brought out the best in me in a lot of ways.
Dan was always all over the place, but he was full of life and ideas and joy and music and just like gusto the entire time.
A priest never asked me my opinion on anything.
None of us will ever in our lifetime meet anybody quite like Dan Riley.
Back in 1971, I was a sophomore at St. Bonaventure and moved to First Dev East in the dorm and found out that a friar had moved in about 2 or 3 doors down from our room. It was kind of an unusual move. You know, we didn't have friars usually living in the dorms with long hair and kind of a cool looking dude. Well, that was Father Dan Riley. He wanted to learn about our lives and what we were going through.
We would sit and read the paper. You know, he'd be puffing on his pipe, and we explored our spirituality. And I think that's where it clicked for me and brought me closer to my faith.
Father Dan Riley, who came walking down the hall, and frankly, I heard him before I saw him.
We are hearing, and there's a bullfrog. It's just landed on the phone and flew off. Left, sublimated, melted. His brother whips me up here.
It was a different form of church that I certainly didn't see growing up.
In the early days, he would have gatherings of students. That began to plant the seed in his mind that if we could do this, but in a place just away a little bit, where you could get away from this physically and sort of mentally and attitudinally and feel like you're escaping, but into something where you could recharge your batteries and then come back with a clearer mind.
And so the first time he took people away was in 1971.
I knew that Dan had this dream of creating this place because he talked about it all the time. And he came to a group of us as students and said, I really want to start looking at pieces of land. There's pieces of land that are coming available. Would you go out in the woods with me? And we're all like, yeah, absolutely. He was much more concerned with how the land made you feel than anything else.
I was just impressed by Dan's vision and how the other people were talking about things. And man, it's going to be some project, I was thinking to myself.
He had in his mind that he wanted a separate place away from campus.
A place that has evolved over time, yet at the same time has been really true to its original sense of space.
My freshman year, we do an overnight. It's Sunday morning. We're having mass in the old house. Dan shares the gospel, then Dan shares a homily. And then he turned to, a dozen college students and go, now what can I learn from you?
I met Father Dan the first time that I came up, and he and I really connected immediately. We immediately connected over my smile. It really made me feel connected to him, for him to point out something that matters so much to me, just feeling like a welcoming person.
Dan was an exceptional listener. If you mentioned something to him, often he would bring it back up.
You graduate from St. Bonaventure, you never graduate from Mount Irenaeus. And that's absolutely true, because Dan doesn't let go.
That Wednesday morning, I picked him up at the hospital, and he said to me, I feel really free. I feel so free. I want to write. I want to do art. I want to do this, and I want to do that. So I went to the doctor, and I could hear him laughing in the back room. He was all excited, had been giving out his cards to people, inviting them to the mountain. We got over to the car, and I folded up his walker and put it in the back, and he got in, and he shuddered, and I said, are you okay? And he looked at me. And that was it. I was thinking to myself, how is this place going to survive without this charismatic leader who is a role model for us, who is an entrepreneur, who's a brilliant visionary? How do we go forward?
Somebody who had come to the wake and walked up to offer a hug, and and said, you know, I guess now that Dan's gone, the mountain will close. And I was stunned. It had never occurred to me that anybody would think that, but I said, if you believe that, then you didn't know Dan at all.
Must be very different without Dan. And I said, well, it is. But you know what? We still laugh, we still cry, we still move forward. The vision's still happening.
The mountain is absolutely still very much alive and well.
I always think about if I can't get to the mountain, then I will bring the mountain wherever I am.
Prayers and blessings from all of us here. Joy and healing, peace for all of your family members. Let us give thanks and praise God. The Lord give you peace.